This is the Big Morning Show with Mike Dow on Big 104 FM. I want to introduce you to a super impressive lady that is about to undertake the trek of a lifetime in support of veterans. And here is a quote from her. To the men and women of the United States military, thank you for my freedom. This hike is for you. That's a quote from Sonya Eldridge, and she's about to embark on a 2,200-mile hike, the entirety of the Appalachian Trail, and it's a fundraiser for House in the Woods, a nonprofit organization offering outdoor programs to bring together small groups of active military veterans and their family members. So I don't have any songs, Sonya, that talk about hiking 2,200 miles. I'm going to be walking 500 miles. They haven't made songs yet for what you're about to do. Good morning, Sonya. How are you?
Good morning, Mike. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well, but I'm kind of blown away by this journey that you're going to begin on Wednesday. Have you ever hiked part of the Appalachian Trail before, or will this be the first time?
I have only hiked tiny portions in up near Monson.
Okay.
Up near Gulf Haggis, up that way.
All right. So I'm hoping that you have a hiking buddy or maybe a series of them to join you out on the trail.
I do. I have a hiking buddy that's going with me, and then as you hike along, you meet like-minded folks who hike at your speed, so we'll probably end up hiking with several different people as we make our way north.
Okay. And so what gave you this idea, Sonya? What made you want to embark on a journey, such a physically demanding trek like this that's going to take such a long time? That's quite a pledge on your part, quite a promise on your part.
Well, before I turned it into a fundraiser, hiking the Appalachian Trail has always been stuck in the back of my head. That's something I wanted to do. I love to hike. I love to be in the outside. I like the physical challenge of it. And I owned a restaurant in downtown Bangor for 20 years, and the map of the Appalachian Trail has been on that wall and currently still hangs there for my whole adult life. And I just walk past it every day thinking, someday. And now is the day. And as I started to prepare for this hike, I also, since I sold my shop, I volunteer at House in the Woods in the kitchen. And as I started to prepare for the hike, I thought, I wonder if I could turn this into a fundraiser for them, not knowing a thing about fundraising. That's not my wheelhouse. But I brought it up to the marketing director, Angie Gady, and she immediately took the reins on that because that is her wheelhouse, and turned it into this wonderful presentation that people have already latched onto. And I'm very grateful for her. She made that very easy for me to make that come true as far as the fundraising goes.
And people can find the donation page at houseinthewoods.org, and there's a button right at the top that reads Donate to Sonya's Appalachian Trail Hike Fundraiser. You can just click on that button. Couldn't be easier. Houseinthewoods.org. Sonya, I have people in my family who've done a good chunk of the trail, but 2,200 miles. Wow. How long do you expect this journey will take?
I'm thinking I should be home by October 1st. I'm hoping to be home a little earlier than that. House in the Woods is doing a hike up in Katahdin on 9/11, and it gives me goosebumps just to think that I could possibly be joining them at the end of my hike for them as they hike as a separate group. A separate hike, but for the same cause. It would just be cool if I could meet up with them on 9/11 at Katahdin, but we'll see.
That would be great. Sonya Eldridge is with me. If you just joined us today, Sonya heads out on a 2,200-mile journey, hiking the entirety of the Appalachian Trail in support of House in the Woods, a great nonprofit based in Lee. They do amazing things for our veterans, for our active military members, and their families. Sonya, what comforts of home will you miss the most during this hike?
I am not sure about that, Mike. I really live pretty frugally, and I really like to be outside. I guess being in a dry environment will be the thing I miss the most because I'm expecting lots of rain as we go. In fact, the second day we're there, the weather forecast, heavy downpour with thunder and lightning.
Oh, boy.
We'll see what happens.
Hey, welcome to Georgia, Sonya. That's what they're saying.
That's right. That's what they're saying.
And that's where the hike begins, right, in Georgia?
Yes, it begins at Springer Mountain, Georgia.
Are there places along the trail where you can plug in and charge your phone?
There are. They're called trail towns. You pass hostels. Wherever there's electricity, they really do cater to the hikers in those small towns and communities. They know what we need as far as food and gear and, charging stations.
I was wondering about supplies because it's not like you can just hop off the trail and run to a store. And DoorDash certainly is not going to bring Chick-fil-A out there. So you're able to keep a good supply of food and essentials going?
Yeah, there's, like I said, there's quite a few stops along the way to resupply. There's an app called Far Out, the Far Out app, and it follows the trail all the way, and it tells you where your necessities are. For example, streams. We're going to need water, so it'll tell us where the upcoming stream is. You kind of plan your day's hike on your next water source.
Okay. You've definitely done a lot of research. Have you ever read the book A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson?
I watched the movie on Netflix just recently.
And it was funny. It's very funny. And there were some parts of it that are kind of scary, too. And one thing that Bill and his friend learned quickly is they were both woefully unprepared for that journey. How long have you been training, Sonya?
I've been training for 6 months or so. I work out every morning with a personal trainer, and sometimes it's 6 days a week. I also hike quite often on my own. I'm a member of a hiking group, and I throw on my now AT pack that weighs about 32 pounds and hike around my neighborhood. And when I hike just, on mountains around here, I've been taking that with me all winter. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Major respect for you. Major respect. Let's send people to the donate page, houseinthewoods.org, and you'll see that button at the top that reads Donate to Sonya's AT Hike fundraiser. And Sonya, I'm going to think of you often over the next 200 days when I'm warm and comfortable in my house, and I'm going to think about you, and I'm going to really hope and pray that you're somehow comfortable out there on the trail. I can't imagine. Again, major respect and thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you for the interview, for taking the time. And when it's raining, Mike, that's when you can think of me.
All right. houseinthewoods.org. Sonya Eldridge. Sonya, maybe we can chat at some point during the hike. I'd love to get an update from the trail to find out how you're doing. Maybe that would be possible.
Sure. I would love to do that. Another way that you and others can do that is to just click that donate button at houseinthewoods.org. Even if it's $1, I don't care. My goal is $5,000 in 6 months. I'm hoping I can make that. And when anyone donates, as real as it can be when I have service and can call Angie and make my report, she's going to put photos on there, up-to-date moments of the hike, just to keep everyone involved. It'll be fun.
All right, houseinthewoods.org. Sonya Eldridge about to undertake a 2,200-mile journey for our veterans. Sonya, have a great trip.
Thank you, Mike.